Hello, everyone. Ah, how is everybody doing? Thank you for being here. Hi, Janine. Hi, Aldo. Hi, Christian. Hi, Janet. Hi, Marina, Natalia, Chio. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Alejandra Jasso, and I am your host for this series, Bringing Wisdom to Life. I am so excited that this is the 10th session of the year. Can you believe it? This is so cool. So today we have a special guest, Tim Lowenhaupt. He's the executive director of Asian Classic Institute. He's an amazing teacher, an amazing boss, and a friend. Thank you so much, Tim, for coming back to this series.
Thank you, Ale.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm like, oh, it's dark now at 6 a.m. It's so it's so depressing now. But thank you for the kind introduction and thanks for running this beautiful program. I think this was your idea, and I think it's really important that we talk about things and how do we apply all of this to our daily life. And because to me, if we can't apply it right away, we're kind of failing, in my humble opinion. So let's get
Thank you.
started.
Thank you for being here. Yes.
So today's topic, I'm going to be I'm going on a tangent today. So, and what I mean by that um, is there a Spanish translator?
Yes, Isaldo.
Someone's asking if they're Spanish, so maybe it's not working, or maybe it is. Anyway, because I get a lot of questions, and it's a lot of questions about, there's kind of this mystique, and a mystique of, by the way, if you would like to turn on your camera, I would love to see all of your faces. I see many beautiful faces already, but I would love to see more. Thank you. It's okay if you're shy. Don't worry. I'm the only one who's looking because everyone else is looking at me. Got it? Anyway, so there's this, I get a question often, and what I said about mystique, like there's this idea of, I can't wait to get to the secret teachings. Okay. I want to get there as fast as possible. I want the secret, right? It's like, and it's even worse. It's like with like a child, right? Like the child's like, I want candy, mom. And you're like, no, dinner's in 5 minutes. And then because you said no to the child, how does the child react? It wants more, right, Christian? Christine, they want more candy, right? They want, you know, and then they start having an emotional breakdown, right? They start getting upset. They start, throwing a tantrum. And you're like, and then as a parent, you're kind of like, well, if I gave you the Snickers bar right now, it would stop this tantrum. But then I know that they won't eat their dinner. And all the sugar and all the chocolate and all the stuff that their body's not ready for. Then you know in a couple hours after dinner, they're going to have the sugar crash, right? They'll run around like crazy, then they'll start getting upset, then they'll start fighting with each other. And then they're like, "Mommy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I'm hungry." And you're like, "Well, you didn't eat your potatoes." Right? So, and it's not a one-to-one correspondence, but I see that happen often. Like even at Diamond Mountain, right? We'll have our classes, and then sometimes we'll have Vajrayana classes. And I see the look in people's face. They're like, "I want to come," and I'm like, "I know." And then they are like, "Well, can I come?" And I'm like, "No, you can't. Did you eat your dinner yet?" Right? And but there's this longing that it's obvious to me that people have seats, right? They have seeds. They were probably practitioners previously. If And then all of a sudden you hear things and you're like, "Oh, I want that." And so when we say no or not yet, I like to say not yet. It's much more polite because it says you are capable, but not it's no, you're not ready yet, right? Versus saying no, no sucks, right? And parents learn these things all the time. They're like, "Well, you can have the candy after dinner." And after dinner they won't be as hungry. um, but there's this mystique, right? Ooh, what is this? Ooh, what is this? I want this. I can't have it. I get questions like this all the time. And so I want to kind of demystify things a bit. So there isn't this kind of, yes, you should be motivated. Why? Why should you be motivated? Bodhicitta. Excuse me. Oh, Janet got it before I coughed. Nice, Janet. The wish to reach total enlightenment for the sake of all beings. Hola, Gabby, ¿cómo estás? Se fue. Um, the wish to achieve total enlightenment for the sake of all beings. Did you think that Tantra doesn't have that? Do you think that Vajrayana doesn't have that? If you did, you're wrong. Like, that is the foundation. That's your dinner. Okay. Part of your dinner. Part of your dinner is bodhicitta. How does one, why do you want to get enlightened, right? Why do you want to go there? Why do you want to, what is this motivation to want to be able to help all living beings? That's your motivation. And so part of approaching the mystique of Vajrayana is that motivation. And how bad do you want it? How bad, how strongly, that's a better word. how strongly is it formed in your heart? And how quickly are you willing to do the part that says, become totally enlightened? How quickly are you willing to go to become totally enlightened? How quickly? Are you really ready to go quickly? Vajrayana is the fast path. Sutra is, we learned in ACI 8, how many eons? Kalpas 10 to the 60th power times infinity, something like that. You could do the slow way, takes time, or you could do the faster way, which takes less time. Hi, Rocio. Takes less time. But let me ask you the real question. Like, are you really ready to do that and do the work? Because what do you think it takes? What do you think it takes? And who are you? These are good questions. Who then are you? Who are you who becomes enlightened? So the first is this wish. Okay. You need that firm, strong, because things don't always, you're trying to create a total purified paradise in a world that oftentimes appears to be the antithesis of that, the antithesis of a paradise. Like, what do we do? Okay, I was doing some research this morning. I woke up at 3 a.m. because I'm jet lagged. So I've been up for quite a while. I've been doing some research about, I was like, war. Let's think about war. Let's talk about this. We seem to have forgotten in the last 2 weeks that there's still a war going on in Ukraine. Somehow that fell out of the news, right? And when you look at the number of people who have died on both sides of that conflict, just imagine, okay, think about this. Okay, I want you guys to think about the number of people who have died in these 2 years. Okay. Different people report different things, but the estimates are something like 70,000 people. Okay, that's 70,000 individual lives. Okay. A new conflict appeared just last week, right? And now we see you know, massive arming and warfare starting in Israel and Palestine, or the Gaza Strip. Okay. And we see this, right? And we know, okay, so it's really easy for us to say, oh, well, that's over there. A lot of our students are over there. There's people in on this chat, this call right now, I'm looking, who are there. Okay, don't think it's something over there. It's there for some people. They're living it. And then we sit here and, I get to sit here in my like comfy home in Sedona, right? And I get to think about it, but I don't have to worry about sleeping at night and worrying about if the bomb's going to fall on my house today. And we sometimes in our, when we're talking about these things within our groups, we get into a kind of like seed discussion, or we're like, well, where is it coming from? Why do we have to see war? Why do we have to see all these things? And we can do that analysis. You can go look at the conflict that you create in your own mind with yourself and then with the people closest to you. You can do all of that. You can do all that and you can work at that level. But a bodhisattva doesn't stop there. Bodhisattva can't stop there. Bodhisattva knows why. But then what do you do about it? How do we help? Right? How do we help? You know, great number of people, excuse me, are trapped. They cannot get out. A great number of people who just happen to live in a place where there's bombs being dropped can't get out. There's nowhere to go. And then emotions start taking over. I watched a video last night of some of you may not have been alive or were very young at this time. In 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there, the President of the United States gave a speech. And he said, if you're not with us, you're with the terrorists. It was this blanket one side or other side thing. If you're not with us, you're with them. And I was like, God, we suffered so tremendously. Yes, people are suffering. Yes, things are happening. Yes, it's awful. But then we do this thing where we then start choosing sides. If you're not with me, you're with them. I was like, because I remember watching that speech actually, and I was at the time I was like, it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's a little bit more nuanced than that. It's a lot more nuanced than what happened in September 11th, 2001 in the United States. You know, like everyone's all upset about what happened, but then no one looked at the reasons why it happened. And then it turned into just like fanatical, we need to go kill this enemy. And everyone in the United States was so like, gotta destroy the enemy. Okay, all right, go destroy the enemy. That's nice. But it's like, there's something that never, this is way before I started, I had just started meditating around then. But this was way before but it didn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right to me. It doesn't say what the people did were like we should excuse that. Absolutely not. You know, but we create the cycles over and over and over again. Oh, go destroy the enemy. Yay, they're destroyed. Yay. Okay. What seeds did you just plant? What seed did you just plant? Come on. You don't even need to go to the level of seeds. You know, in the hypocrisy in the way that we think about things, you know, it's mind boggling. And I catch myself in it all the time. You know, it's like I catch my mind and my mind is like fighting a battle. Like when I get irritated with just, you know, they're not even my enemy. They're just kind of my closest annoyed person who's closest to me that annoys me. Right? They're not really an enemy. But I just feel this like urge at times to say, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm going to prove it to you. And I'm going to do everything I can to prove to you that I'm right. I have the bigger bombs. I'm a Scorpio, guys. I know that person's weakness before they even know they have a weakness. Okay. It's a Scorpio trait. You know, I don't, you know, I'm making a point. But oftentimes it's that. I look at that person and I'm like, I'm right and you're wrong. And I'm going to prove it to you. And I'm going to prove it to you even if you start crying and you're hurt and you know, everything that goes along with that. I'm still right. You know, that I walk away and I'm like, yeah, I said it. They finally understand me. They understand my point of view. They understand me. Me, Tim. Tim is understood. And then there's a moment that sort of puffed up pride, you know, you walk away, turn off Telegram. Telegram's a great place to be irritating, right? I'm right, you're wrong. You know, I don't even have to look at your face while you're reading my message where I'm right and you're wrong. You know, and then you think about it a little bit. And like, what are the power of those words? Did those words destroy that relationship? Did those words, were those words even necessary? Was I even right? You guys know what's coming next. Was I even right? The emotion gets so strong that you can't even look at the pen. You can't even think that that person can be right. I'm right. You're wrong. Now just blow that up literally and then give somebody who does not have any kind of self control or anyone who's like acting out of emotion or anyone who's doesn't understand the pen and then give them the power to drop bombs on other people. Guess how right you are when you drop that bomb. Think about the mental state someone has to be in. It's hard for me to imagine. But can you imagine the mental state of someone who pushes a button that fires a rocket, and then wherever that rocket lands, people die? And then you're okay with it. You know, what kind of mind does it take to be able to do something like that? You know, what kind of pain are they in to do that, right? And if you really understood seeds, how would you treat that person? How would you treat that person who's just pushing buttons to launch rockets, right? And then everything that comes from that, right? Then one side launch rockets, the other side launch rockets, then they send infantry in, then the gun, then the whole thing happens. Okay. It's like like the seed opened up already. It's too late. It's like it's hard. How do you stop that? The seed's already opened. And then how would you treat that? Yes, we should stop people from doing that. My government does it all the time. We have a really good propaganda machine here that people don't think about it. Our government gives money to people to bomb other people. What? It's messed up. It's an insanity. And humans have been doing it for recorded history. But let's ask that question. How would you treat, if you understood seeds, how would you treat the person who pushes the button, makes the decision to push the button to send off a rocket that's going to kill thousands of people? So, how are we connecting? You know, what do you do? Okay, so if you understood where that person was coming from in your world, okay, like we've talked about this in many different ways. Like the classical example is like if your mother were coming at you with a knife, what would you do? Would you kill your mom? No. You would try to stop her from hurting you or hurting others. But you would try to restrain her or something like that, right? Stop the action, right? Sure, let's stop the action. What if you can't stop the action? What if the only recourse to stop the action is to drop more bombs on someone else? Drop the bombs on the people sending the bombs. I don't, these are very, very difficult and subtle questions that you have to sort out in your own practice. So, as a bodhisattva, what do you do? Right? How do we engage? How do we help? Yes, we work at the level of seeds. You have the seeds to see this. I have the seeds to see this. Okay. God damn it. Like, how do you then treat your coworkers? How do you treat your family? How do we, in a worldview organizations, we're trying to find organizations to help in the current conflict, right? And how we're continuing to help in the conflict that started 2 years ago. And then the conflict that starts next week, we will still try to help until there are no more conflicts. And you can't not help. Don't just say, oh, it's coming from me. That's a lazy bodhisattva. That's a super lazy bodhisattva. Maybe we should have called this the lazy bodhisattva class. No, we're getting there.
Et cette semaine,
So, but if this has been a pattern that's been going on for human history, seems like the resolution to it's rather slow. Okay. You know, generally, the world has been the most peaceful it's been in human history, generally, in the last, it's not really true, it depends where you are, right? Different points of view, right? But generally, we enter into conflict on a very regular basis. Countries enter into conflict with other countries on a very, very regular basis. Or countries within the countries are fighting themselves, or, it's a very regular thing. So should we just keep going as though it were a regular thing? This is just normal. Right? Is this just normal? Should we just keep going along and say, well, it's just the normal order of life? Should we? And then we get into these other questions, these questions of, all right, how do we stop this faster? How do we get into it faster? How do we purify the seeds of this quite awful pattern faster? All right, first of all, don't be a lazy bodhisattva. That's your first step. Find ways to help other people. You don't have to be a fanatic. You don't have to be like, never sleeping. That's not what that means. Take care of yourself. You are a living being too. Eat well, sleep well. But don't be a lazy bodhisattva. And that also means looking at the own ways that you cherish yourself. how do you take care of yourself and only think of yourself? How do you, yes, I said go take a nap, go eat some food, eat well, sleep well, you know, tend to your emotional states. Yes, please. But how attached are you to you? That's a form of lazy bodhisattva-ness. Just as in parentheses for all of you nerds out there. Thank you. For all of you nerds out there. What else did we put on our dinner plate just now? We put bodhicitta on our dinner plate. What else did we just put on our dinner plate? It starts with an R in English. Oh, not chocolate. Well done. Not yet. We'll put the chocolate on at the end. We put a little bit of renunciation on it. Right? We put a little bit of renunciation on our plate. Like if you are finally tired and exhausted with the whole of human history where we just fight each other all the time, that conflict is the normal, war is the normal, and you're just finally tired of it, that's a huge motivation to ramp up your practice, to go faster. I don't want to wait until the next war. I don't want to wait to the next war to like, oh, now I'm going to practice. Now I'm going to be bodhisattva. Now I'm going to do all this. If chocolate could resolve all conflict, God bless. But get the renunciation is a huge motivator. It's a huge push to want to get it done fast. I want to get it done fast. But the question is, do you really want to get it done fast? That's my question for you today. Do you want to? So how do you get it done fast? Let's pull away the veil. Okay, let's pull it away. The mystique. How do we transform that normal into extraordinary? How do we go from how do we live in our day-to-day life in a way that can plant incredibly powerful seeds, purify things very quickly, and then reach that final goal quickly, that final goal where you can really serve other people, actually serve other people? How do we get there? What's the secret? Part of me wants to be a total jerk right now and just say, finish your 18 courses and come back next year. But that's not the punchline today. The punchline today more is it comes down to the third thing that we place on our dinner plate. And what's the third thing we put on our dinner plate? All right, everyone. I'm sorry. Go back to ACI 1. Go back to ACI 1. Thank you, Ula. Yes. Wisdom. The third thing we put on our dinner plate is an understanding, a deep understanding of where things come from. So we have the renunciation, right? We're like, I am finally tired of this. Like when I saw the news last week, it was so devastating to me. I was like, it was just, my heart just, we can, whenever it was, we can have, I don't know, my heart just like, shattered. And I'm like, I'm tired of this. This is just, I'm tired. I'm tired. And then just to foresee the amount of suffering that's coming, that's on its way. Like, can I do anything to stop that now? And then when that suffering becomes a reality and you go, everybody is suffering, everyone's doing this in the same way. Oh God, like the person who pushes the button, the person who's standing next to the person pushing the button, the person who's pushing the button to fire back in retaliation, and the person who's getting the order to get on the plane to drop the bomb. Like, it's just overwhelming when you really think about it. And then all the people who have really nothing to do with it, they just happen to live there, which is most of the people, right? It's most of the people. Then you're like, everyone suffers that in that same way. Like, we need to do something now, immediately. And so then we get to the wisdom side of it. And we get to the wisdom side and we're like, okay, how do we navigate this? How do we navigate this in the face of all the suffering? Do not, do not, do not go into a war-torn area or talk to anyone and be like, I'm going to teach you the pen and then teach you where that war is coming from. Okay, don't help them rebuild their house, help them find shelter, help them find safety, help them flee, help them go. Like, don't do that. But then how do you practice? How can you practice in that? How can you take the wisdom of the pen and turn it into something extraordinary? And so when you're looking at somebody and they're arising in a certain way, my seeds are going off. Yeah, they're going off. They're going off all the time, right? And I'm seeing an annoying person, or I'm seeing someone who's wrong, and and then I'm having the experience of I'm right. What do you do in that moment? How do you extend your wisdom? And then how do you do it in such a way to make things extraordinary, in such a way that you can plant extremely powerful seeds in ways that you can't possibly imagine the results? And there's one very simple way to do it. Here's the secret you've been waiting for. It's going to be so amazing. that you're just going to be like, oh my God, it was sitting right in front of me the whole time. It was already there. And maybe you just didn't see it yet. Who is that person? Who is that person? All you gotta do is ask that question. Who is that person? They are nothing but a manifestation of my own seeds. They are me appearing as somebody else. They are past him appearing as somebody else who looks separate, who looks out there, who is annoying the shit out of me. They are me. They are from my past. They're from my past as well. Now, what if you injected a different thought into there? What if you injected a different idea? Someone said it in Spanish. They're actually teaching me. That person is teaching me about me. How are they teaching me about me? Because I know where it's coming from, I know that I treated someone in the past very similarly, and I'm now seeing this in front of me. I'm seeing war, I'm seeing jerk, I'm seeing anger, whatever I'm seeing from a past Tim, past seed. And now they're showing it to me. Let me ask you the next question. Now, who are they? Who could they be? They could be anyone if I had different seeds. If I had different seeds. Now I'm going to tell you the actual secret in a second. So that person could be anybody. They're out there. They look like they're out there. I'm just looking at the chair over there, by the way. There's no one in it. At least I don't think there's anyone in it. And they could be anyone if I had different seeds. So what if I started imagining, well, are they an annoying person or are they an enlightened being who's showing me all the stuff that I still need to figure out? Are they? Who are they? Who are they? They aren't
Who are
anybody.
they
They
are
aren't.
anybody. They are
Oh, the translator jumped out just to reaffirm that they aren't anybody. Thank you. That was perfect. All right. They aren't anybody. They can't be anybody. They aren't anybody. They never were anybody, and they never will be anybody. But they sure look like someone. So what if you started and just practicing in your everyday life? You looked at them and you were like, you are a reflection of my past, but you are a Buddha who is helping me. You are an angel helping me. You are a divine being who has come here to help me understand my world and understand the places where I'm not where I am still thinking of me in the wrong way. I'm still thinking of others in the wrong way. I'm still thinking of all of this in the wrong way. So, wow, that was so deep, Tim. Is that all I have to do in Tantra? Is that all I have to do? I just have to think or imagine that maybe all the people around me are enlightened beings and that they're just there showing me all this stuff that I still have in my heart, the wrong view that I have. Is that all it is? If you want things to move faster and you're ready to do the work, that's the way to speed things up. But now here's the secret. Well, one of them. Where did the idea that they could be a Buddha come from in the first place? Where did the thought that arose in your mind that they could be an angel who's there teaching me come from? What seed did you plant to create even the idea that when I'm looking at that jerk, that jerk is a Buddha who's appearing as a jerk to help me? Where did that seed come from? To have that idea arise in your mind, 160 people, 159 people, to have that idea arise in your mind, what did you do? And then one more level, and then we're going to stop. Who are you? You are you because you have seeds to be you. Just like when you die, you could have a different seed open up and you could be a dog. You is a dog because you see this as a chew toy. You is a human because you see this as a pen. You is enlightened because you see the world differently. You project a paradise. And that's what makes you enlightened. So even you are a seed. Your idea of who you are is wrong. You is a seed opening up onto you. Are you going to project Janet? Or are you going to project Buddha Janet? Are you going to project Flavia? Or are you going to project Vajragini? Okay. Which one opens up? Which one? Which one is it? Which one is it? Depends who's looking. Who's looking? You're looking. Who's you that's looking? Okay. And who's the one who has the idea in their mind to see it that way? Okay. So I think everyone expected to get a mantra today. That's your mantra. Look at the world. Understand where it comes from. Understand that it could be anything. Understand that you could be anything. And if you begin to suspect that the world and you are something different than what you think they are, then the seeds become extremely different. And that's how you transform the normal into extraordinary. And then there's technique, and you can get that later. But that's the primary everyday yoga of everyday life. Okay. How does one transform it? Your seeds transform it. Don't think you do. And then please, 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 don't be a lazy bodhisattva. Go help the world that appears. Go help people. But if you bring that point of view into your service of others, something extraordinary can really happen. Thanks for coming today, guys. So I want to introduce something to you all really quickly, and I'm asking for your help. So ACI is, as you guys know, ACI classes are any class you want to come to that's primary teachings, you can come to for free. We do all of it for free. We do all of it for free, you know, and we happily do it. We love to lose money. But we have a thing, you know, we're working on trying to figure out how to keep it going, and how do we keep expanding, and how do we really bring this and bring these ideas out. And all of you come to these classes. I know you, like, you're dedicated. I see you guys everywhere, right? And so I'm asking for some help, and this in two ways. So listen to the two ways first before you get all excited. You can get excited right away. That's fine. We have a campaign that we would like to run through the end of the year. It's our 30th anniversary this year, by the way, of ACI. And we would like to engage people in that 30th anniversary, because if we can raise enough money, we can really jump into 2024 extremely strong. And so our goal is to get 1,000 committed donors for $30 a month. $30 for our 30th anniversary. And that would take us significantly into 2024 in a way that we can really grow and not have to worry about money, because that's my job. I worry about money. I worry about how to spend. I worry about how to pay everybody. I worry about all of those things. And I hate worrying. I don't know why I have to see myself worrying. Yeah, work on those seeds. But we're asking for help. We're asking is can you be one of those 1,000 donors? However, I have a secondary plan. And that secondary plan is where I'm actually looking for help from you is, can you be an ambassador for ACI? Meaning, can you commit to finding 10, 25, or 50 people to sign up for the $30 a month? Okay. Can you help us do that? Like, can you write me an email and say, I commit to 15 people or 5 people, or I'm going to find 100 people? Because if we can get there, 1,000 people at $30 a month, it would be a tremendous relief off my shoulders. I could teach more. Get it? And what that gives you, okay, is that it's kind of like a prepayment. So it's kind of cool. I think it's cool. I don't know if anyone else thinks it's cool, but Tim thinks it's cool. Here's the link. Is that if you commit to this, you're kind of prepaying for all of our online programs all year long. So there's no more of this, oh, please sign up for Lam 46 at Diamond Mountain in April online, or in Mexico, or in Kyoto, right? This just becomes like a Netflix subscription. Just pay ahead of time, but just a little bit a month. And then you get in all of them automatically. And you get to save. It's not the full price. You actually get to save a little bit on if you were to come to all the 4 events individually. But our goal is to reach 1,000 people at $30 a month. Okay, what if you can give more than $30 a month? Yes, please. What if you can't give $30 a month, but you can give a little bit? You please, we will of course accept that as well. We can talk about that. But our goal is 1,000 people at $30 a month. And if you can help as an ambassador of ACI and say, I commit to 10, I commit to 20 people, I commit to 50 people, this will help us get to that goal faster. And I'm asking if you can help me. And if you would like to help, please send me a message and you will get a unique campaign link. The link that I put here is the general link, but I will give you a unique link for you. And if you reach their goal, there might be, you will certainly be recognized as an ACI ambassador and many, many other things. So we can track your goal, and then it all kind of rolls up in the back end, and then we can see what it looks like overall. But if you can help, please send me a message. I will get you that link. We will recognize you most certainly in all places. You will even get a special Zoom background if you want. But really the key is this: if you want to see more teachings and you want to see more teachers, this is how we're going to do it. So we're asking for your help here. If you want to sign up right now, here's the link. Yay. If you want to be an ambassador, please send me a message in Telegram. Here's my Telegram message or handle. God, I'm going to get full of telegrams, but that's fine. I welcome all of those messages. So that's my ask for you. You are the first group that we're launching this with. We're going to make we're making the first big presentation of this next week at Medicine Buddha, which is my next advertisement. If you have not signed up for the Medicine Buddha retreat, please do. We're a really cool class that Rob and I are giving is going to be on mantra and emptiness. So we're going to take what we did today and we're going to go deeper into how a mantra works. So if you have a mantra like the Medicine Buddha mantra, or you use Om Mani Padme Hum, or you use the Manjushri mantra, like Om Mani Padme Hum, and you use those mantras, how do those mantras work? How do they actually work? Like, how does the magic of saying Sanskrit words turn into seeds that are planted to create results? that you want. How does that work? So Rob and I are going to go into a deep talk on that. On top of, Geshe-la just mentioned yesterday, he's going to be interweaving Medicine Buddha and Nagarjuna together in a very creative way. So please, I implore you, if you want your practice to work, this is the event you want to go to to understand the seed of it. We have a symposium, which is also about how to do deep retreat. So everything we're going to be teaching is about how to get into a meditation retreat so then you can really get, like, squeeze the orange juice, like get the juice out of the orange, right? Without retreat, some of these practices are like, those juicers that, like, when they're done, there's still like 75% of the juice left in the orange. The cheap ones. You get some orange juice out, but then you look at the orange and it's still juicy on the inside. Deep retreat is like the most expensive high-end restaurant juicer you can buy that gets all the juice out of the orange. So to get that, that's there is a bit of a cost to that. But if you're not able to afford it, please let us know and tell us what you can afford, because we would like you to come. We would like you to join. So that's what we got for you all today. Thank you for joining. Thanks for coming to this class. I'm really excited to see all of you. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of you, so it's exciting to see your faces again. And we look forward to seeing you on Friday for our offering to the teachers, which is Friday evening. And then our classes start on Saturday morning with Geshe Michael. Ala, do you have anything to add?
Thank you so much, Tim, for this amazing class. It's so deep and so meaningful. Thank you so much. I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. All the volunteers, the sponsors, everybody who is here. And I have a special announcement. Today is a birthday of a very, very, nice volunteer. So if you can turn on your cameras and help us to celebrate him, is Christian Neculita. Gina, can you stop sharing the screen and help us to sing happy birthday to Christian? Open your microphones if you want to.
Yay.
Yay.
Happy birthday.
Muchas Cristi.
Christian. Happy birthday.
Christian, felicidades.
Happy
Happy
birthday
Tyler.
Happy birthday.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Happy birthday.
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday, Christian.
Selamat siang, Christian.
Cumpleaños, Cristian.
Selamat siang.
Muchas Cristian.
Tyler.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. See you next month with a very special class with Eva Balser. And stay tuned in all the news that we have for you on our website and Telegram chats. Thank you for coming. See you next time. Happy birthday, Christian.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vale. Thank you, Christian. Keep having more birthdays. Live a long life. And everyone, turn on your mics and say goodbye. Thank you.
Gracias,
you.
Tim. Un abrazo
Arrivederci.
grande.
Gracias.
Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you so much, Tim. Bye.
Thank you.
大家再见。
Thank you, Tim.
Very much, Mr.
Thank
Tim.
you very much.
Bye. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. До свидания.